Okay, excellent stuff. Well, welcome everyone. So we says we are all live. Today we have Captain Cook. So just a little brief introduction as to what this segment is, because this is a little bit new, and to what exactly this looks like, because obviously in the title I've got Season 1, Episode 1, and just sort of trying to get out there exactly what I'm hoping to achieve. So right at the very start, when I started YouTube, I found it very difficult to get traction. But because of loyal followers, subscribers, and friends, the channel has built up very nicely over the years. Now, to say thanks, I want to pay that forward over the next few weeks. We're going to have some people on to talk about drones, YouTube, or pretty much anything they want to talk about. So I have a few questions prepared with a few tricky ones, maybe in between. And yeah, once we're done, we'll open it up to everyone. Everybody can just jump in and ask Cap or myself anything that you want to know, anything, or just anything random, really. It doesn't have to be about RC. And we go from there, really. So first of all, if we take 5 minutes, Cap, and just say hello to everybody in the chat, and then we'll sort of, I don't know, get to it, whacking some questions back and forth. Is that all right with you?
That's fine. I'm getting the chat up now.
Perfect. Okay. Hey, Mr. Winky Head. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Night Train. How's it all going? You guys been out flying today? Hey, Crystal. How's it going?
Head, Thomas, Night Train. Crystal. Welcome. I have not flown today. Chance of thunderstorms today, so been a little windy. I haven't flown. Hopefully tomorrow.
Fingers crossed. Hey, Dan. Hey, Mui. How's it all going? So, have you actually had thunderstorms today then, or has it just been just on the horizon sort of thing?
Yeah, on the horizon. I mean, all around us. It'll look like they're fixing to blow up, and then it'll go away. And then looks like they're going to blow up and go away. But
yeah, we had that for a while over here, and then fortunately it sort of cleared up a little bit. MD95 TSI, Chris, hey fella, what's going on?
Hey, Chris.
Right, okay. So, this may seem, for everybody who watches you every single Friday on the Drone Network, I just want to get something starting up just so that everybody else knows exactly who you are and what it is you do. So, Cap, what is it that you do every Friday? And, yeah, take it away, buddy.
Friday nights, I have a show I co-host with MD95 TSI called the Drone Network. We're heading into our 20th episode. It's going really good. We also do a Thursday night pre-show where we get on and just mess around a little bit. But yeah, so we're heading into our 20th week of the Drone Network, and it's exactly what it says it is. It's a network. We're networking with drone pilots all over the world, and it's really becoming, it's growing, and it's I have a good time doing it, and it's just it's something I look forward to, you know, on Friday nights, coming in with all these guys and shooting the breeze, and you definitely learn something. I don't care who you are and how long you've been doing it, you'll definitely learn something from all the experience of you know, guys we have come in.
So you started up, you said 20 weeks. Is it 20 weeks this week?
Yes. We just passed 19. We're on our 20th week coming up. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what made you start this? What made you actually want to start to communicate with pilots around the world and sort of bring together this huge community that you have got?
When I came into this, you know, I was acquainted with a few channels that did live streams, and kind of thought, you know, hey, I can do this. Maybe I can do it a little better. I wouldn't say better, but a little more fine-tuned. So I came up with the idea to start it, and really, when it started, it wasn't even, you know, the Drone Network. It was just hanging out, you know, and MD95 TSI came on board with me, and we started it, and you know, just the rest is history. We keep on trucking.
So I think I'm right in saying you've been on YouTube for a very long time, few years. Have there been any changes that you've seen that you agree with, and anything that you don't agree with?
Yes, this recent thing that happened about switching, having 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, and a lot of people frowned on it, and I did. But if you sit back and think about it, they're trying to weed out smaller channels that are not really cutting the mustard, that don't really have content that pertains to anything. And YouTube's here to make money, Google's here to make money.
Yeah.
And if they're going to put you out there, they want to run commercials, all right? And if you don't have a channel that is not worth putting a commercial on, it's not worth it to them. It's a business for them. But the way I see it is, I think it's going to help us all out in the long run when everything settles down. But we're all hoping it does anyway. But that's one change. I think it may be for the good, and I'm hoping I'm right. And yeah, when I started back in 2010, I really wasn't serious about it. And I've only been serious for the past year or so, maybe a little over a year. And but it has changed a lot since I first got into it, especially with the gaming end of it, and a lot of channels, so many channels that are there's good channels out there, and there's terrible channels out there. And I don't see how some of them survive on their content.
Yeah.
Watching paint dry for 8 hours,
Yeah.
They will, that channel will have 1 million views. But I think what I've seen most of all about YouTube is the growth and how many people. And you can go to YouTube and you can search anything and you can find out anything you want. Anything. It's there. And that's one good thing about YouTube that I really like is anything you want to know. It doesn't matter. You'd be surprised, what you see on YouTube if you're searching for it.
Yeah.
So it has changed in that way. It is a place to go. I use it at work a lot. We search stuff at work to watch videos on certain things that we're doing. And but I think I'm hoping that it all turns out for the good, what YouTube's trying, and I just hope things settle down and we can all just keep our path and keep on getting it. And
absolutely, I think Google itself is such a behemoth when it comes to the tech industry, and I agree. I totally agree with you that it came as a bit of a shock because I've got quite a few little channels, little ones that I keep up to date now and again. And having that email, I thought to myself, well, yeah, that is a real pain. But honestly, if it's something that you want to do, if you want to make videos, then you're just going to make videos regardless. And I think that's something. It really sort of some of the channels I was subscribed to, and I thought, wow, this guy is really, really into what he's doing. Then all of a sudden just stopped. And I kind of felt a little bit, well, okay, I can understand that. Maybe it was just purely a business for them. But I think it is important. If it is something that you enjoy doing, just do it. You're going to do it no matter what. I personally think. Yeah. I mean, my other channel isn't monetized, and it's just pretty much me sitting down with a couple of mates. Mui, who was in the chat, sat down with me a couple of weeks ago, and we went through just a general chat, a general discussion. And the thing is that I find that enjoyable because I like talking to people. I try and you can learn so much just by talking to people. Now, what made you, when you first came here, to YouTube, I mean, what made you choose YouTube out of Vimeo and out of all the other little, or rather large businesses and video sort of juggernauts? What made you come to YouTube?
I think, well, some of the first videos I'd put up, I did some production work for a friend of mine that owned several companies. And I would do some photography for him and some stuff for him, and just put it out there for a couple people to see, and didn't really get serious about it. But I found that when I started doing videos and I started getting comments, just 2 comments, that's man, it's pretty good. People are actually looking at it. I actually got a thumbs up on that video, and that might be the only one I got. I said, hey, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And as I started doing it more and more, things grew and grew, and it gets addictive. You get to the point, and I don't want to get to that point, but sometimes you get to that point and say, I've got to get a video out. I've got to get a video out. Well, I'm not like that. If I get it out, fine. If I don't, I know you, JD, you try to stick to a schedule.
Yeah.
And that, I don't do that. I try to keep that pressure, that part of it off of me.
Yeah.
So I may do four videos in a weekend, and that's not counting my live streams.
Yeah.
So far this week, I haven't put anything up, and I may later on today, or I may do 3 videos tomorrow. But I just try to keep that part of it off of me. I don't want to. I could have my stringent schedule, but I want YouTube to be more of. I want to keep it fun.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a job, because I have a very stressful job anyway, and I don't want that at home. So I try to have a good time and just try to. And believe me, if you're going to make your channel grow, there's going to be some stress there. There is, just sometimes you just don't feel like doing it, but
yeah.
Absolutely.
I think there's, exactly what you said. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. Well, yeah, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you want to either have a lie in. You don't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and stand in a field. You don't want to do that because you've been working Monday to Friday in your full-time job. But then you think to yourself, you know what? You've just got to get up. You've got to do it. And as soon as you're up, it all makes perfect sense. This morning I had one of those moments where I was lying in bed. I was thinking, right, okay, what do I do? Beautiful sunshine outside. I was thinking, right, there's no breeze, beautiful sunshine. I should just be getting up, and I just couldn't. In the end, I just dragged myself up, marched myself over to the field, and once I was there, I had a whale of a time. But again, it's getting into that mindset, isn't it, of getting up and doing it, and actually just plowing ahead. And it's so easy to sort of not do it and to sort of sit back in bed and think, oh, I'll be all right, I'll be okay, no problem. When I first started, I was really, really shocked if I didn't put a video out. This is why I've got a schedule. If I didn't put a video out, then people would be sending me emails. Where's your video? I'd be like, right, okay, whoa, hang on then. I've got to have a schedule. You guys have got to know when I'm going to be putting this stuff out. And I think it helps. It does add a little bit of stress, but it's helpful for people who've requested to see a particular drone or something like that. At least you know exactly when that's going to happen. So what is it? Now, this question you asked me when I was on the drone network a little while ago. What is it you want to achieve out of your channel?
I think what I want to achieve, I'm achieving it now.
Yeah.
I'm bringing this community together, and that's what I set out to do to start with a lot of help from Chris and Crystal. And I think I'm achieving it now. I'm not that giant channel, with 1 million subscribers and all that good stuff, and don't know that I want to be, because when it goes that far, you lose the personal aspect of your channel and being in contact with people. And it'd be nice to have a channel that large, but you also lose that personal aspect of it. And going back to, that's when it becomes a job. So I think right now I am fine with the way it's going. Like the channel to grow a little more, but that's coming in the future, and I know it's going to happen because we're expanding what we're doing. We're getting more into acro, freestyle, racing drones, and we're bringing those people in with us that have that knowledge. And I'm just as lost as the next guy when it comes to it. I'm just getting started myself in it. So we're growing, we're going to grow, and we're not trying to rush anything.
Yeah.
Trying to take our time, do it right. But as far as right now, it's going the way I want it to go. And I couldn't ask for I couldn't ask for anything else. I like it slow and steady, because slow and steady lasts longer. You know what I mean? It's the turtle in the hare.
Yeah.
So we're going to stay slow and steady and take it 1 week at a time, and just continue on what we're doing.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Slow and steady does definitely win the race. Hang on, just 2 seconds out, just to say hello to everybody in the chat. Hey, folks, we're not ignoring you at all. I'm looking at everyone. I am saying hi, hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? If you've got any questions for Cap or for me, just get them ready. We're gonna have a break in a minute from me asking questions or whatever. You guys have any questions, then please do pile in, and we'll get those out. So when have you, again, this is quite a bit of a large question, but when have you been most satisfied with your channel? So when did you actually sit back and think, wow, look at actually everything that I've achieved, or everything that we've achieved, or everything that, when have you been most satisfied? And what was that thing that made you think that you were that you had achieved satisfaction?
Right now, today, and the support that I get from everyone, that lets me know, that shows success. How happy people are, how they all stick together, they support each other, they support me, they support my channel, and I really call it my channel, but it's our channel. If you guys know, I've changed the name to the Drone Network because actually the channel has become more than me. And that's why I really changed the name. But right now, today, I'm most satisfied I've ever been with it. These guys in this chat right here, they really support each other. They support me, and they really stick up for each other and stick up for me, and really give me praise I don't deserve. But I'm just a normal guy that has brought a community together. I don't want to be looked at as a Jim Jones or anything like that. You know what I mean? But today and every day, tomorrow I'll be more satisfied with it. Because the love that's shown and the support that's shown for me is just overwhelming. And I think it could never get better, but it always does.
Yeah. Would you say that you are always successful with everything that you try as far as YouTube goes, with videos, flying quads and things like that? Do you have a lot of success in, or do you manage to accomplish everything that you set out to accomplish?
No, but I try, and that's the main thing. I give it 100% in whatever I do, and sometimes things just don't work out, and you have to accept that. You have to accept your failures along with success, and learn from your failures and move on, and you'll be a better person and a better content creator. When you go back, and you think you made this video perfect, then you go back and look at it. I wish I hadn't have done that. Maybe I should have done this. And then sometimes you have to say, all right, post it. But, try to keep in mind, all right, remember last time I wanted to take this out, or I wanted to slow this down, or I wanted to speed this part up. And but no, by no means. I'm a creator that is never satisfied with anything I do. Really, I'm never 100% satisfied. Never have put up the perfect video, but I strive to put up the perfect content is what I strive. And as long as you try, and you give it your all, that's all that anybody can ask of you.
Absolutely. I think it's very important to know as well, when you are putting up videos and when you are making them, when you're editing them, when you're filming them, whatever. I think it is important to know that every single thing that you do can be improved on, I think. And I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking about content creators on a whole. And I think once you do turn around and say, oh, you know what, that was 100% fantastic, I think maybe somebody may, I think as a content creator, you may have lost something there. There's no sort of room to grow anymore with that particular video, with that,
Exactly.
So
and it may look perfect to you. And that's what we're going for. But we're our worst critics.
Absolutely.
And we're our number one critics. And we're always going to have that. And you're right. If we say something's perfect, we have no more room to grow. And nothing's ever perfect. There's always something, a blade of grass out of line. There's something, always.
A smudge on the lens like mine this morning.
No, I've done the same thing, yes.
Yeah. So, okay, switch it from YouTube onto drones. What's your favorite drone?
Say again, you broke up a little bit, John.
Sorry, mate. So to switch it again, a little bit from YouTube, what is your favorite drone? What is the best drone that you currently own, or the best drone that you currently flown?
I've got to go with my unique Typhoon H.
Oh, yeah.
I love that thing. Love it. And yeah, right now that's sitting on the pedestal right now.
Yeah. What's your worst?
But all of them are my favorites.
Okay.
My Solo. I love the Solo. I've had the Solo for a while, and it has never let me down. It has done everything I've ever asked of it, and never gave me a minute's trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt kind of bad when I got the Typhoon, that it kind of knocked the Solo out of first place, and I felt sorry for it,
Yeah.
So I try to get it out and fly it as much as I can, just so it won't set up and collect dust. But right now, the Typhoon H is my favorite one going right now. I mean, that's my favorite camera bird. But I do have a lot of toy quads and Hubsons, and just got a little DRL racing drone I'm messing with and getting into beta flight. So, but yeah, definitely the H right now.
How are you finding that DRL and getting into racers a little bit? Because I know in the past you said that you haven't been that much into them.
Yeah, right. And yeah, and Chris MD is getting me more into it.
Good man, Chris.
Yeah. So I'm the type of guy. Also, I'll take anybody's help, but I like learning stuff on my own as well. So went into beta flight on my own. So I'm in there, I'm messing with the PIDs and I'm messing with it myself. And
yeah.
I'll set it up, I'll take it out, and I'll fly it. And if I don't like it, I'll come back in, I'll hook it back up, and we'll try something else.
Brilliant.
And so I think that's the best way to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Hands-on, not someone telling you how to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping to get more into that and more into FPV and because that is really exciting. FPV is, as you know, it gives you a rush every time you put those goggles on and send that thing out. Is a big difference between that and line of sight.
Yeah.
You get real nervous because your focal point, it's a lot different.
Yeah. I think when I started flying FPV, it was if there had been onlookers, it would have looked absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
If I hit the floor, I would jump because everything is amplified so much more. Because you are looking through the eye of the drone. So you hit the floor, you hit the deck, you jump a little bit. You move a little bit, you feel your stomach move a little bit. It's immersive. It really is. It really is fun. So beta flight as well. That is a great. I know you mentioned it a little while earlier. That was a bit of a learning curve for me. I don't know how you're finding it, but I certainly, when I first started using that, I set up my first. I think it was the QX65, the Ishin QX65. And then I set it up and I took it out and it immediately flipped over and it just fell back to earth. How are you finding beta flight? Are you getting on with it? As you said, you are altering PIDs and stuff. Is it coming easy to you, or is it something that you've got to alter and then see how it flies and come back?
Well, when I first took it out, factory settings, and right away I knew this is too slow for me. When you go to do a roll, I said this is not quick enough for me. So I go in and start messing with the PIDs. I turn them up way too high. So it flips and slams immediately. So I'm moving it back and forth, and I put it on beta flight this morning and dialed it back a little bit.
Yeah,
hoping I can get out, but I want a lot of room to do it. I live in a neighborhood. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I hit myself, drew blood out of my own leg, last weekend. So I don't want to hit anybody else.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing as well. Not flying in neighborhoods. I see quite a few people around by me recently have started flying, so I've just kind of walked up to them in a very non-official capacity and just said, "Hey lads, what the hell are you doing?" So because I think it's all very well if you're going to have a bit of fun in your back garden within the confines of your fence and not high or anything like that.
Yeah.
But if you're this is why, especially for us in the UK, we've got a lot more guidelines coming in. They call it guidelines. It's going to be laws. before too long, and they've got a lot more stuff like that coming in. Have you had a chance to have a little, or have you heard a lot about the UK drone laws and how that is sort of altered or altering?
I have not heard a lot about them. I've heard a lot of people complaining about them, but I have not specific laws or rules. I haven't heard. That haven't had time to,
Yeah.
But what do you think? I mean, what do you think it's going to do to you?
Well, I think, right, this is where it gets a little bit controversial, I think. I think regulation to a certain extent is good in certain areas. But then you've got to say, if there's regulation, how are you going to enforce that regulation? Is it just going to be a case of the almighty hand of some, parliament bod or something turn around and saying, you can't do this, but them not ever having flown a quad, them not ever actually seeing a quad, probably, and never actually knowing exactly what it is that the hobbyists like about it and the commercial pilots like about it. I get a little bit worried whenever anybody starts altering guidelines and laws, because normally it means that either, a lot of people will suffer. The hobby is going to suffer, I think.
Oh yeah. They're not doing it for your good. That's for sure.
No, not at all. I mean, I haven't seen this on black and white, but I have heard from another couple of YouTubers who have made videos on UK drone laws, and that it's going to be roughly priced anything over 250 grams. You've got to register your drone, and it's roughly going to be between £5 and £10 per drone. So if that's going to be the case, then it starts to become a money-making scheme, then, doesn't it? Because if you think of how many drones you have that are over 250 grams, there may only be 5 or 6, but that's 60 quid. Do you know what I mean? Then it starts to mount up. The amount of money does. I'm all for stopping idiots flying. I am. I'm sorry if people disagree with me. If you're going to fly near an airport, you're an idiot. And those people I don't think should fly. But I also think the hobby needs to be kept for hobbyists and needs to be looked after by hobbyists. And this is why I went over to those guys that were flying up and down the road, and I was just saying, look, guys, can you please not? Because it's because of this you're gonna cause one of these houses to ring up the CAA or whatever, or the police, and complain, and that's yet another strike on the hobby. And even though it may seem very sort of as if I'm trying to come down on people, well, at the end of the day, I suppose I am. If they're going to mean that I can't fly and I can't do what I love, then there is going to be. I am going to turn around. I am going to tell them to stop doing it, or at least to go to the field that I go in between the hours I go up there, and you can fly with me. That's not a problem. I think a bit of regulation is good. I worry about how it's going to be policed. I don't think it's going to be policed properly, and I think they're trying to get rid of the hobbyists from the from the airspace to make way for commercial pilots. I got no problem in becoming a commercial pilot, but I'm not paying. Well, it's not that I'm not paying. I can't afford to pay £2,000 for a 3-day course. There's just no way that's going to happen. Yeah. Honestly, it does leave me concerned. It leaves me very concerned, because putting YouTube to one side, I think this is going to mean. I've had a few people commenting on the video I put up last week, and I've had a few people saying, look, we've been into planes and into this and into that and flying helicopters and whatever before drones came out for like 40, 50 years and never had a problem. And now all of a sudden it looks like they're going to have to stop because of these guidelines. And I don't know how I feel about that. I suppose if you were to wrestle me for an answer, I suppose I feel angry that those people feel the need to give up their hobby.
Yeah. And RC aircraft have been around for a long time, man.
Oh yeah.
RC airplanes, I flew those years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
And but there's so many drones have overwhelmed. Anybody can get one. I mean, these people that have IQs of 3 that are out here flying these things near airports, and that that's what's doing it. Absolutely. It's common sense, and these people don't have common sense. You're endangering a lot of people when you do stuff like that.
Damn right. Yeah, and that's it. And it's not as if. Don't get me wrong. I've seen a couple of videos out there of aircraft coming into land, and the footage looks fantastic. But you've got to say to yourself, why are you wanting to fly something near something that carries people? It's idiotic. I don't understand it. I mean, from where I am in Bristol, we've got Bristol Airport. Now, it is in comparison to Gatwick and Heathrow in London, this airport is small. But you had people flying up there, you know, and even after they said on the news, on the TV, do not fly up here, people still went back up to fly.
Yeah.
I don't understand it at all. I mean, what do you guys think in chat? Hello to everyone. Hello to everyone. We're not ignoring you. Sorry, deep in conversation. Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Hello, everyone. So what do you guys think of just sort of anything, really? Have you got any questions for Cap? Have you got any questions for me? If you have, get them in there and we'll read them out. So do you have, I'm not very well up on a lot of the, from a couple of people that have commented on a couple of videos to say about the laws in certain parts, certain states of the US. Yourself, do you have any drone laws that you're very concerned about, or do you have anything on the horizon that may be sort of leaking its way in?
I don't think so. I mean, a lot of the laws right now are, like I said, common sense laws. You know, it's the 400-foot barrier. You know, 5 miles from an airport. Those are common sense things. Those are made to protect people. But you know, when the day comes, I can't go to my local park and fly, and I endanger no one. You know, and I make sure I don't fly near people. And if I endanger anything as a pine tree, then I'll start getting worried. But right now, where I live, everybody's cool with it. You know, everybody likes them. They actually, you know, want to come talk to you while you're flying. I don't care for that too much. But that's why I try to, you know, I'll go to the ball field. Nobody's out there. You know, people running by or whatever, that's all right. They're not going to mess with you. But I try to go out and not be around people. But yeah, when they start running me out of the few places I can fly, you know, then I'm gonna start getting concerned. But right now, I have no issues with the laws per se as they are right now.
Yeah. I think it was last year that Bristol Council decided to ban drone flying in 8 parks. And now some of these parks where they have banned flying, they are acres and acres and acres, absolute acres, and there's no overhead wires. They're not near, you know, they are more than 150 meters away from a building and stuff like this. And when a couple of friends of mine got in touch via email just to say, look, you know, what is the purpose of this? And it was always down to one person flying in there when there were other people, and these other people didn't understand. They saw drones as being, or quadcopters, whatever, just as being a tool to spy on people. So therefore they got in touch or whatever, and then, you know, they just brought down the ban hammer on 8 public parks. And now the one that I fly in is owned by a farmer, you know, which is very nice. So, you know, I've met him and whatever, and it's I'm thankful that he's letting me do that, because otherwise there's nowhere, because I don't drive, there's nowhere in walking distance or even busing distance that I could get to. Which is, it's a real shame. It really is. I mean, before long, it's going to be inside your house, and that's it. And it's a crying shame. Yeah. It really is.
Thomas has got a question, Captain. If there were one thing you could change about the drone network, what would you want to change? I don't think there's anything I'd change about it right now. I mean, it's going well. I would like to, you know, I would like to try to stick to a time frame, you know, but I never stick to it. You know, I'll say, okay, we're going on at 7. I want to be out of there by 9:30. Never happens. Never ever happens, because we have such a good time. I hate to end it early, so I never do. If that may be one thing, but that's not anything I'm going to strive to enforce. I'm not going to do that. You know, on like next week, I've got to work all next weekend. So next Friday show is not going to be short, but it's not going to linger on to midnight, you know. So I got to play it by ear. That I have to do. But, you know, if I don't have to do anything the next day, I got no problem. So, Thomas, as it is, I wouldn't change anything right now.
That's a good question. Thanks, Thomas. Temple Togs. Hey, Temple Togs. A friend actually stopped flying in the park because he was afraid of being sued if he hit someone. Night Train. What about doing an after show feed? That's interesting. Cap, what do you think of that?
An after show feed. That does sound interesting.
Crack out a couple of beers?
Yeah. Well, JD, I do that during the show, so.
Perfect. Okay, so if you have got any questions, guys, keep them coming. I'll scroll back at the chat and have a little look. If there's somebody I've missed and I haven't said hello to, hello everyone. Once again, how's it going? Thanks for joining. So is there anything? Okay, I asked you what your favorite drone was. What is your worst drone and why? If you had to pick one.
Worst drone. It's probably going to be the WL Toys 686G.
Okay.
My first drone. That is the worst flying thing I've ever flown in my life. I still got it though. I'm not going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's just all over the place. First video ever shot with it is on my channel. I went straight up, looked at the water, came straight back down. Didn't try to fly anywhere, but I have flown this thing. I have gone through motors and gears and busted the body up on it and rebuilt it and still got it. But it is the worst flying thing I have ever flown in my life. I can't say that it's the worst one I have right now. I've had them worse that have been sent back. I don't have anymore. Yeah. And that's been quite a few I've sent back that I just could not. It's just, you can't control it up and down, slamming in the ground. And it makes you feel kind of inadequate, you know? Like, I know I can fly these things. Yeah. Why does this one keep slamming in the ground and slamming in the fence, you know?
Yeah. So it wasn't as if when you first took it up that you thought it was good, and then after you've flown like another 5 or 15 different drones, then you thought, oh wow, actually this one was bad. It was bad from the off, was it?
Yeah. Yeah. And Chris just noted in there, it was the Sharper Image DX2.
Yeah.
I actually took that one back. Yeah, man, I beat my garage to death for that thing. I mean, it was just, I took it outside. I said, well, let me move inside where there's no wind, nothing to affect it. It was worse. It was better with wind. It just slammed and beat around. It just pissed me off, and I just took it back. Oh, that's at the time, we had the regulator thing going.
Yeah.
But, I didn't regulate it because I paid $30 for this thing. You know what I mean? I took it back and got my money
no
back.
Point for that. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Code 6, how's it going? So we've seen what your best drone is. We've heard what your best drone is, your worst drone. Is there anyone that you really want to pilot that you haven't had a chance to yet? Or that you have got coming up in the future? You don't have to disclose which one, but is there anything that you really, really, really want to get your hands on?
I think I don't own any DJI products.
All right.
And I think I'd like something from DJI, be it the Mavic Pro. And actually, it was a toss-up when I bought the Typhoon. There was the Mavic Pro and the Typhoon. And I took the Typhoon instead because it was bigger, Yeah. And it does so much. But yeah, I think I'd like a DJI product, and not necessarily a Phantom, more along the lines of a Mavic, something like that. But I definitely would. But yeah, I've never owned a DJI product before. Actually, been looking at them for years. One of the first drones when I wanted, spend some money on one was the Phantom 3 Standard.
Oh yeah.
And looked at this thing and looked at this thing and looked at this thing and bought the Solo, And I'm like that. I'll look at the I'll look at the Corvette for a year, then go buy a Mercedes. Of course, I can't afford either one of them, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I think when I bought the Phantom 3 Standard, that was the first professional drone that I'd actually flown. Up until then, it was nanos, toy grades, a couple of sort of hobbyish drones. That was it. I bought this and flew it, and I just fell in love with it straight away. And it's such a good drone, and it continues to be such a good drone, even with the little changes they made with it over the years. I still get people commenting on the video going, "I've just bought one. It's fantastic. I've just bought one. I really love it." I mean, I got rid of the Phantom 3 Standard. A friend of mine wanted to get into it, so I thought, right, okay, great, lovely. So he had that. I then bought the Spark. Loved the Spark, absolutely. But again, I haven't flown the Mavic Pro, but I've seen it. I've been in the vicinity of somebody who has flown the Mavic Pro. I've flown the Mavic Air. I loved the Mavic Air. Absolutely loved it. But I think if you want the reach, the Mavic Pro just absolutely canes it. I think it's 5 miles or 6 miles.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Fantastic. DJI is a very. I think I know a lot of people may disagree, but I think DJI are very, very good, very, very good indeed.
Oh, they do make good stuff. They do. You can't deny that. They do make good stuff.
Yeah, they do. Fair play to them. What goggles are you using currently? You've just got into FPV. I'm guessing you've got goggles as well. What is your pair of goggles of choice that you actually currently use?
I have the Eachine EV 800s. No DVR. I did get some DVR goggles. Actually sent them back because they were nice, but the view was so pixelated that you couldn't. There was no good detail in it, and they were good goggles, and they were DVR. Mine I have now are not DVR, so that's something I got to get. Is some DVR goggles. So, but I want to get these Eachines I have now. The picture is so crystal clear, so I want to get that same model with DVR. And I kick myself every time, when I bought these, I had the chance to get. I don't need those. Well, now I need them.
Yeah.
But that's the only set I've got right now. But they're pretty good, and I like them. They're big and boxy. They're not fat sharks by any means, but they're in the price range I like.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a few Eachine goggles, and I bought a pair of Craze Ponies just because it was on special offer on Amazon. It had a DVR. I thought, you know what, it's now or never, so I just grabbed it just because I was fed up of having the goggles on the floor with the camera recording the goggles. I actually wanted to have some proper picture from it as well. And having a DVR makes all the difference. But I think I'm looking at another pair. I think it was Chris. I think that actually, I think it's Chris that actually said about getting a pair of Fat Sharks. I think it was the Transformers, which are on my list next. I think, and that's definitely a good pair for me. I think. But okay, I think that's all the questions I've got for you there, Capt. Has anybody got anything for Mr. Captain Cook? Anything at all? It can be about drones, about YouTube, about absolutely anything at all. If not, then I do actually have one more. I don't think I asked you this earlier. Have you got any tips? If there's anybody watching out there who is new to content creating, have you got any tips on how to start content creating?
Watch videos. Watch other people. It's easy to record a video and just put it on YouTube. It's easy, no editing. It's easy to do that. But I think if you want people to watch your channel and to like it and like your content, put some time and effort into editing. You can get an intro and outros. They're not expensive. You can get them free. But watch other channels and see how they do it. And then, when you have nice outros and intros, you got decent editing. You don't have to spend a lot of money on editing software. That's also, you can get that free.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it's worth the money to buy a good editing software if you're going to get serious about it. Go out and get you a good Power Director software. It's well worth it. Well worth it. So many things you can do that you can't do with free versions. But I'd say, take pride in what you do. If you just want to throw a video out there for somebody to watch, that's fine. But, I like nice intros. I like nice editing. You know, every now and then throw something in there, or flashbacks, or you know, I take pride in editing, and I'm serious about it, and I study editing a lot. You know, so I got Power Director. I'm always messing with it, and, you know, but yeah, just watch other people. You don't have to copy what they do, but just take pride in what you do. And if you need help, there's endless people that'll help you out there. You know, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to go into somebody's video and ask them, hey, how'd you do this? Or how'd you do that? Now, you're going to get that one guy every now and then that doesn't want to release his secrets. But guess what? It's not a secret. He just doesn't want you to know.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't be afraid to ask questions, and take pride in what you do. And if you want to get serious about it, be serious about it, and have a plan of action and what you want to do. And if you don't, and you just want to muck around and, you know, throw a video here and there, that's fine too. It's your channel. Do what you want with it. But if you want to be successful and have views and have subscribers, you know, give them a little flash, you know, a little glitter and glitz, and just stay true to what you know. Start with make yourself happy, and don't try to make everybody happy, because it's not gonna happen. You know, I make a few people happy in this world, and I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
just take pride in what you do, and if you're serious about it, it'll all turn out for the best. It'll work out for you. And stay vigilant, and just like anything else, you've got to study. You've got to stay in the know. You know, you got to know what's going on out there, and you do those things, and you'll be all right.
Absolutely fantastic. I do have one other question for you. No, it is not drone related. I like to, as this sort of goes forward, and we have more people on, there's going to be maybe one or two questions that I'm adding just to satisfy my morbid sense of humor. And feel free, if you don't want to answer it, that's absolutely fine. But if, just say hypothetically, let's just play with this idea. Just say if there was to be a zombie apocalypse. All right, okay. I know I brought that up. What skills would you have to help you and your loved ones survive the longest? It could be 3 skills. Say 3. Pick your top 3 skills.
Oh, my top 3 skills. I am a survivor. I will survive, be it in the woods, or that's one of my skills. I'll survive, and whoever's with me is going to survive. So if that happens and you see me running around in the woods, you might want to come with me.
Yeah.
And as a lot of you know, I'll eat about anything. So food is not an issue.
Yeah.
So if you're with me and you're hungry, you're going to eat. You might not like it, but you're going to eat. A third skill, if I have enough ammunition, I'm a very good shot. And I'm pretty good with a hatchet too. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, melee weapons, definitely the way to go. I think melee weapons. It doesn't attract attention either. But that's getting quite morbid. Let's keep it nice and light. Oh, well, thanks ever so much, Cap. If you stay on afterwards, just so we can have a little quick chat, if that's all right. Everybody else, thank you ever so much for being here. And this is, I hope this is going to be a weekly thing. I'm going to set it up into sort of episodes and series, a little bit like a TV program would be. And yeah, I'm going to be getting in touch with quite a lot of people, having quite a lot of different people on here. If this is something that you want to be on, and you think that actually, do you know what, you want to be on, you just want to come in and have a chat, then please find my email on YouTube, send me an email, and we'll make it happen. So there we are. Fantastic. Thank you ever so much, everyone. I'm looking over this way because I'm seeing chat, if everyone's wondering why I'm looking over here. So thank you, folks, ever so much.
Let me say one thing, JD. Ray Smith. Yeah, sure. Ray Smith messaged me a while ago. I just want to tell him, yeah, Ray, that's fine. If you want to use stuff for your videos, that's fine.
Fantastic. Wonderful. All right then, folks. Well, thank you very much for being here. See you on the next one. I hope you all have a fantastic week. And until then, my friends, thanks ever so much. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.